Well, good morning YouTube. Summer's finally arrived in the UK this weekend. Tail end of May. Glorious, sunny day, and we've managed to persuade virtually everyone to come out on the bikes. So we're just heading over towards Warminster to meet up, and no idea where we're going. We'll see what antics we get up to during the day. Okay, just had a quick gas stop, and I've just seen Rory ride past, so the clan's gathering. And already the roads seem really busy this morning. So we've had a quick chat. A couple of guys have had to drop out, unfortunately, so it's just the three of us this morning. But it looks like we're heading out. Look at that old truck. Sorry, squirrel. Right, what was I saying? Right, we're heading for Weston-Super-Mare, which, God, I haven't been there for years. Locally known as Weston-Super-Mud because of the massive beach where they have bike racing on the beach a couple of times a year, I think. But not today. But it's a lovely sunny day, and Weston-Super-Mare is in a nice part of the world, so we'll see what we see on the way down. And no doubt I'll do a bit of gabbling about what I've done with the Z over the winter, and a couple of new additions to the stable, which we'll talk you through. Maybe I'll chuck a couple of photographs in as we're gassing along. So anyway, the sun's right in the clock, so it's probably dazzling the hell out of the camera. So we'll cut it off there, and we'll come back later on. So sort of started gas bagging about what we've done with the Z over the winter and stuff like that. So a little while ago, I've got hold of a LED H4 headlamp bulb, put that in. And I have to say, it's really good, but there's a but. Main beam is fantastic. Dip beam, you get quite a good spread of light sort of far out, but up close there's a bit of a kind of dead spot. So I put a little light bar, just only a little short one, about 5 inches, so underneath the nose cone, and just to improve that sort of dip beam lighting, and it gives me a daytime running light with a switch on the handlebar there then. And had this bike laid up over the winter because I bought a Honda, being a dyed-in-the-wool Kawasaki man, so I feel like a kind of bit of a traitor, but unfortunately Honda don't make, Kawasaki rather, don't make anything like a CB500X. So I've got that as a sort of commuter stroke touring bike, which means this old girl has become absolutely a plaything. Which, when you look on the how many left website, there's only about 18 of these left still registered in the UK, and half of those are on Sawn. So the chances of bumping into another one of these, a Z750L4, are pretty slim. Although it's not a particularly sought after model, you know, I don't want to wreck it by commuting to work and piling tons and tons of miles on it. So this is now my sort of plaything, which I'm rather glad about, really. But anyway, So what else did we do to it over the winter? So at the end of the last riding season, all three of the brake calipers were, you know, showing the signs of old age, and they were starting to be a bit sticky, not quite binding on, but they definitely weren't working their best. So over the winter, from Wimoto, who I have to say their customer service was excellent, we'll come back to that, I bought you can buy a kit, TRW I think it is, with all the parts in to repair the front calipers, and a similar kit for the rear. Obviously the front comes with twice as much as the back, being twin disc. And got all the calipers off the bike, stripped them all down, and sort of prepared them all for rebuild, and rebuilt the rear caliper, no problem, sprayed it all up, and to, you know, make it look like it's been rebuilt, as well as having been rebuilt. And started on the front calipers. First one went together fine, new piston, new seals and everything, and the second one I just could not get the piston to go in, so typically it's the last one I came to. So measured the diameter of the piston and found out it was like way oversized. So I think whoever put the kit together picked the wrong, I don't know what happened, anyway it was the wrong piston. So phoned up Wimoto and they had one sent out on 24-hour post. Absolutely top service, could not fault them for that, with a returns label to send the other piston back. So new piston and seal kit turned up, popped it in, calipers rebuilt, sprayed them all up so they look good, and then just gave the bike a bit of a service. One of the things actually is worth mentioning, especially for anyone who rides the older bikes like me, as part of that sort of recommissioning back onto the road, all the fuel pipes had gone absolutely rock hard, and they were only probably 2 years old. And I only ever run this on the E5, the super unleaded, so you know, maximum it's had 5% ethanol through it, and they absolutely, those fuel lines were like brittle plastic. So go and check your fuel lines. Over the winter, you know, while the bike was laid up, I had the tank off and drained and took the tank into the house, so I didn't get any condensation or anything like that inside. Just really to ensure exactly that. I didn't want it sat there with any kind of ethanol content in it, and I didn't want it sat there empty outside. Well, it's not outside, it's in a garage, but of course there's no heating, and you know, it could pick up a lot of condensation, which would not be ideal. Oh, look at this. Is that a local hog chapter? So only other little knobs I did, repaired the wiring loom to the fuel gauge. Turns out there was two faults on it, and there was one on the loom from the bike and one on the loom from the tank, so just old age, you know. So that's repaired and put back together, so I got a working fuel gauge again. Other than that, the old girl, touch wood, is behaving. She's I did one of the shakedown runs after rebuilding the brakes, and I was just came up to a junction, and you know when your bike starts making that new noise, oh, what's that? Just picked that up, and it got progressively worse and worse and worse, and you know, the worry beads were going, and I was thinking, oh god, it's something mechanical. And you know, so anyway, stopped at a junction and I could hear it chuck 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 chuck, and it was one of all the manifold nuts on the exhaust downpipes come loose. Well, they've been on there for 4 years, not a problem, and then just decided, no, we're going to come loose today. So the old chocolate spanners that are kept under the seat came to the rescue, and touch wood, she's as good as gold again. So that's the rabbiting on about this bike anyway. We'll come back to the others a bit later on. What a fantastic day. Look at that blue sky. Okay, catch you all in a bit. Come on guys, give me a clue, I'm not quite sure where we're going. that guy have a massive cardboard box just resting on the tank between his arms? We'll have to check the video when we get back. So anyway, there we are. We're just leaving Weston-Super-Mare, maybe, I think. I'll double check that when we get back. But we're in Somerset for definite. I can narrow it down that far. Oh, this is a 20. Because of the school, which isn't open today. So apparently this part of Somerset, which I didn't know, was oh, squish squirrel, sorry, distracted again, was they used to do coal mining around here, weirdly, which kind of I always thought was more Wales and up north. It's not done anymore. I bet that's an old mill house. Not done anymore, but yeah, there's a bit of an industrial sort of heritage around here. Right, I think I'm out of the 20. Am I? Yes. Hooray! Right. So yeah, spring has definitely sprung this weekend. The weather up until now has been a bit meh, you know, as it can be in the UK. Well, you know, we're famous for it, meh weather. But when it's nice, it is really nice. And today it's really nice. So that's Rory on his 900 Triumph, I think, and then there's Andrew on his Kawasaki ZX9R thingy. I don't know, I mean, motorbikes for me kind of stopped in the 80s. That's why I'm riding this. But weirdly, in registration terms, there's about 10 years between this bike and Andrew's, well, a bit more than that, maybe 15. But that's how much motorcycle technology moved on in all that time. Admittedly, this was an old model when it was bought new. But yeah, stark difference, eh? Especially when you park them next to each other and see the width of them tyres. Oh my god, they're skinny. So now in a little village called Rodney Stoke, which is where my first dog came from. And in actual fact, he came from one of these houses along here. I can't remember which one. It was one of these, a collie dog. He was a great dog, totally neurotic like collies are, but he was a brilliant dog. And yeah, lots of fond memories. So I just had a video of this guy's number plate. That's really cool. 9-bot Ace. Tightens up on you. Oh, a bit of traffic free zone. Nice to get a bit of wind blowing up your sleeves. So it's a long time since I've been to Weston-Super-Mare. I didn't remember it being this big. I suppose everywhere's getting bigger, nowhere's getting smaller. here we go. Welcome to Weston-Super-Mare. I must stop saying that. And here we go. Now you can see why they call it Weston-Super-Mare, because look at it. Oh wow, now that I'd like. Motorcycle parking on the seafront.